Hey everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today here on Blind Whiskey Reviews, the most honest reviews on YouTube. Today we're doing another Speedy sample review. So if you haven't joined me for one of these before, in these two boxes we've got 24 samples of different whiskeys, and these are made up of whiskeys sent to me by distilleries to review, whiskeys sent to me by friends out there in the whiskey world, and whiskeys that I've already reviewed and poured into a sample bottle a few months after that bottle's been opened, so we can see how that whiskey's doing with a little bit of airtime. If this is a re-review, I'll link it up here and down in the description below. But without further ado, let's grab our random number generator and figure out what whiskey we will be drinking today. So we will be doing sample number 3. Well, that's easy. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Looking away. Pouring a little bit of whiskey. And we'll get into the nose really quick, and then we'll jump into the palate. There we go. Very mild on the nose, not jumping out of the glass just yet. Got a little bit of fruitiness there, definitely some apple. Like a red Fuji apple. Or Gala if you prefer. Not much else there, a little bit of heat on the nose. I got a touch of a burn there when I kind of dug my nose in a little bit deeper. Touch of caramel, maybe a little brown sugar, touch of like a bitter oaky quality, maybe. I'm having to really bury my face in there, and it's the heat makes it so I can't, so it's a weird mix right now. But let's get into the taste and figure out what's going on with this whiskey. Cheers. So this tastes, I can't put my finger on this, tastes vaguely familiar. Another taste here. A little bit of fruitiness up front. Definitely a touch of that red fruit kind of quality too, like red ripe apple. Mid palate, it brings in a little bit of like vanilla and caramel sweetness. Back end stays fruity and sweet. A touch of bitterness comes in to kind of balance it out a little bit, but it definitely is a little bit more sweet than it is bitter. You're left with this fruity sweet quality in your mouth. So far it's nice. Definitely gonna touch more of like corn sweetness on the nose and maybe a hint of vanilla. Definitely warming on the tongue. Got a little bit of a harshness to it, not much, just the slightest hint. Got a pretty strong intensity of heat on the tongue though. I'm thinking we're maybe in like, not super high in proof, but definitely not low. Maybe we're over 100 proof, maybe like 105-ish. Give it one more taste. Sometimes I wish these speedy sample reviews weren't so speedy. I'd like to spend a little more time with this whiskey, but it's going, like I said, it's got this fruitiness at the front, and it goes a touch flat in the middle. Mid palate, the kind of fruity intensity drops off a little bit and kind of just normalizes a touch. So the middle of your palate's kind of boring, and the finish is better. Like the finish, that fruitiness kind of ramps back up a little bit. So this whiskey is slightly confusing to me right now. I'd definitely say it's good. Not blowing my mind, but very solid, very drinkable. Happy to drink more of it. So for a speedy sample review score, I'm going to say this is like an 82, 83. We'll say this is in 82. Like I said, if it didn't fall flat in the middle, I think it'd be better, but it's just got that little pop of like, where it goes dead for a second, and then it kind of builds back a little bit after you get it over your palate. So, I like the flavors that are here. I like what it has going on. I just wish that it popped a little bit more. So, and it tastes very familiar, so I'm assuming this is a re-review. So let's figure out what this is. This is Rare Breed. This is the 112.8 proof bottling. This was opened, this is a re-review. I knew it tasted familiar, but it really doesn't taste like I remember this whiskey tasting, and I haven't had this particular pour in a while. Rare Breed typically brings a bit of a nuttiness to the table that I just didn't find here. But this whiskey has been poured 3 months after the bottle was opened, but I reviewed this whiskey. This is one of my very first reviews. It was probably within the first month after I started the channel. So this whiskey's definitely been in this bottle for quite a long time. It's actually still tasting pretty darn good. So, and I would say that out of the batches of Rare Breed that I've tried, this one is probably I still like Rare Breed and I still like this, but this is probably my least favorite. I think the 116 proof batch is better than this one. So I definitely would be rating that one a bit higher, but this one is still tasting quite good after having been open for a few months. I don't remember what the original score was. I'll put that on the screen below so you can see what I originally ranked this whiskey. I think it was somewhere similar, maybe like mid-80s. So definitely still tasting good. Maybe dropped off a touch since it was open. Maybe it popped a little bit more when it was fresh, but definitely tasting pretty good still. So let me know what you guys think. Rare Breed, the 112 proof batch or the 116. Which one's your favorite? Leave it down in the comments below. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at blind_reviews. You can send me an email at blindwhiskeyreviews. That's whiskey with an E @gmail.com. And until next time, cheers.